Right now, Earth is spinning at about 1,670 kilometers per hour. That sounds unbelievable, especially because we don't notice it at all. We can stand still, drink a cup of coffee, or watch the sunset without even feeling the planet moving beneath our feet. But that raises an interesting question. What would actually happen if Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Not over millions of years, not gradually, but just stopped. The answer is far more extreme than the most people realize. Earth has been spinning continuously for more than 4.5 billion years. Its rotation gives us day and night, influences weather, and even shapes the planet itself. We've become so used to it that we never stop to think about what that movement is really doing. So today, let's remove one of the most fundamental things keeping our world the way it is and see what happens. If Earth suddenly stopped spinning, the planet itself would stop, but almost everything on its surface wouldn't. The air, the oceans, cars, buildings, trees, and you would still be moving east at the same speed Earth had been spinning. Near the equator, that's around 1,670 kilometers per hour. Think about riding in a car. When the driver slams on the brakes, your body keeps moving forward. Now imagine that happening at more than the speed of a sound. The result would be catastrophic. Anything not firmly attached to the ground would be thrown across the surface. Buildings would collapse, cars would be flattened, vehicles would become uncontrollable. The atmosphere would continue racing around the planet, creating winds far stronger than any hurricane ever recorded. Within minutes, much of human civilization would be destroyed. The oceans would be just as dangerous. When the ground suddenly stops beneath it, the oceans don't simply stay in place, they keep moving. Enormous waves would surge across the continents. Coastal cities would be hit first. Places like New York, Tokyo, Shanghai, Sydney, and Rio de Janeiro could disappear beneath massive floods. Ships would be carried far inland. Entire coastlines would be reshaped in just a matter of hours. Even regions far from the ocean wouldn't necessarily be safe, as flooding and debris spread across the land. Now let's assume something almost impossible. Somehow, humanity survived the initial disaster. Life still wouldn't return to normal. Without Earth's rotation, one full day would last an entire year. One side of the planet would face the sun for a month. Temperatures would continue rising until many regions become unbearably hot. Meanwhile, the opposite side would spend months in complete darkness. Without sunlight, temperatures would plunge far below freezing. Plants would struggle to survive. Food production would collapse across much of the world. The most comfortable places to live would likely be the narrow regions between constant daylight and endless night. Earth isn't perfectly round. Because it's spinning, it's slightly wider around the equator. If that rotation disappeared forever, gravity would slowly reshape the planet. The oceans would begin moving away from the equator toward the poles. Some equatorial regions could eventually become dry land. Meanwhile, sea levels near the poles would rise dramatically. Over thousands of years, maps of the world would have to be redrawn. The continents would still exist, but the coastlines would look completely different. As destructive as this sounds, it doesn't necessarily mean the end of humanity. People have survived ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and countless natural disasters. If enough people remain, they would adapt. New cities would likely be built in regions with more stable temperatures. Agriculture would move. Technology would evolve to deal with months of daylight and months of darkness. Life would continue, but it would be a completely different world from the one we know today. Fortunately, this scenario is essentially impossible. Earth isn't expected to suddenly stop spinning. In fact, its rotation changes only by tiny fractions of a second over many years. So while it may not feel like it, right now we're traveling through space on a planet spinning at nearly 1,670 kilometers per hour. It's one of the most incredible things about our world, and somehow we never even notice. If you enjoyed exploring this impossible questions, subscribe to Beyond the Frame. Every week we explore fascinating what-if scenarios and uncover the science behind them.